The Balance return for a new season of meaningful conversation. Taking a close look at the development arena. First angle of introducing 3 new segments. Join the first segment, Chat On. And whenever the chat is on, please grab the opportunity. Join our second segment, Breaking the Glass. Finding out great people that have achieved great things. And we will find out how they break the glass. Of course, our final segment, Walk the Talk. Let's put the talk to actions. That's what it means. Where we will find out so many special things that have been put on social medias, that have been put into talks, but we will find out exactly where the works face. Walk the talk. The Balance Show is back again with exciting interface only on GRTS TV. Good evening, viewers, and welcome to this program. Of course, today on this episode, Chat On, we will have the American Corner, Gambia. Let me tell you, the American Corner, Gambia is run by wonderful youths of this country, and they're doing great. But today they're going to tell us more on what they are doing. Let's have Mr. Modumbu. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Baba. I'm very honored to be here on behalf of the American Corner. Thank you.
All right. Of course, we have another young lady. Of course, somebody I know very well, very dynamic and very unique in whatever she do. Mariama, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Baba. It's a pleasure being here, and a wonderful good evening to all the people that are watching us right now.
Of course, on the chat, we go straight to the point. Tell us more on what the corner is all about.
Thank you very much, Baba. The American Corner is under the U.S. Embassy in Banjul, but in practice, it is run by the U.S. Exchange Program Alumni Network, that is U.S. EPAN. It is a branch that comprises of people that benefited from the U.S.-sponsored programs, that is the YALI and MWF, the Mandela Washington Program. And the corner is here to empower the young people in the country, and in essence to facilitate or to lubricate the relationship between the Americans and the Gambian people, to ensure we live in a very peaceful and coexisting society, and to provide the youth of the Gambia, those who want to know more about U.S. culture, to give them the opportunity and the platform to learn about U.S. culture, as well as understand why it is important for the U.S. and the Gambia to have a very smooth running relationship.
Brilliant. Now, anything for the youth, balance is always there. You know that. You've been aware of that since long time ago. Mariama Danso, take us through the benefits that some of the youths are gaining from the corner.
Thank you very much, Baba. I'll be very much honored to shed light on the question that you've asked. I think the corner is one place that is a hub for initiatives. When you look at it, most of the people that benefited directly or indirectly, by directly I mean all the people that serve as interns and volunteers for the corner are probably people that are into different sectors, and they have grown from the corner when it comes to how to make sure they have built and established their professional life. When you look at it, the likes of Fatou Jang, the likes of Aliou Jallo of Startup Incubator, all these are individuals that pass through the corner, and today they are individuals that would be counted when you talk about prospective people in our society. So the American Corner, through the direct support of individuals that work as interns and individuals, volunteers, we are able to build our capacities to be able to serve our societies better. Now, the indirect beneficiaries from the corner is, we know it is a space where students come to make research and also get access to internet to be able to read and also apply for international schools international scholarships. And then we also do programs that are centered towards civic engagement, women empowerment, and also health and other sectors, important sectors of our society. So it is a hub that provides an e-library right now, because when you look at it, COVID has also affected and impacted the way we work. And since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, we have shifted from having on-site events to online events. And we've also still seen how the corner is still engaging people in getting them informed about health, about civic engagement. That is the more reason we are here today, and about other stuff ranging from education, social activities. And the good thing is these individuals are all Gambian people that are here in this country. So that is one advantage that the corner has. And like we always say, it is a place where people get access to books and materials to help advance their education. So the benefits are very wide.
Brilliant, because the reason why is we need something that will elevate our youth, give them knowledge, and also, give them that opportunity where they can be somebody tomorrow. Because we want our youth to be great people. We have seen the likes of Alu. Alu have changed a lot of lives, especially the young ones that he has trained when it comes to entrepreneurship. And other youths have been doing it. So the corner has contributed wonderful job on the lives of the youths. That's why the balance will definitely go around to the corner to find out exactly what the corner is doing. Modumbu, very important. We have seen the corner have gathered a lot of youth, a lot of programs to support Gambians to go and get a vote, which is part of national development. Now, take us through your programs when it comes to voters registration.
Thank you very much, Baba. I'm the one heading the civic engagement department at the American Corner. And so far we have been involved in a lot of activities, ranging from what we are doing right now, to be on air, talking to the youths, to be able to gather their voters cards, go and register, and so that will enable you to be able to have the platform to vote. Because if you don't register, you cannot vote, which is a very big concern as far as us as youth, our involvement in the society is concerned. I think that should be the bottom line. You should be able to gain the tool that will make you be able to choose the right leaders for your society or for your country. So the civic engagement department at the American Corner is geared towards empowering the youths, creating awareness through radio sensitization. We have visited a lot of radio stations so far, and we do have Zoom programs as well, where we invite stakeholders, the media, even the youth-led organizations, the youth leaders, and just to talk about the importance of voting, while we encourage specifically the young people of this country, because the young people are the hearts of any country you go to. So that's why we deem it fit and necessary to be engaging them in our activities, especially when it comes to voter registration. Citizenship starts with voting. If you don't have your voter's card, this is me speaking, even your citizenship is questioned, because you cannot actually have the say as to who would actually govern your country. And as we see, we have a lot of candidates coming up, but if you don't register for you to be able to vote, I'm sorry, but you cannot decide who will be your leader.
Exactly.
And
do you have a voter's card?
I did.
You got it. Mariam, do you have a voter's
Yes,
card?
I have a voter's
Now, but
card.
what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Go and get your voter's card. It's free.
Yeah.
It's free. It's part of you being a patriot.
That's right.
Now, Mariam Dansol, a lot of people say youths of the Gambia. In fact, in the past, they would tell you, don't mind them. They just make noise. But when it comes to the vote, it's the women
Right.
that will go out there and vote. These youths, they just like to talk. Are you expecting a change for this election coming?
I think from 2016 down to 2021, there has been a paradigm shift and also a change of mind, most especially with the young people. We've seen how young people came out in their large numbers to condemn the previous regime through the polls. And then we want to also see how we can also take part in active civic engagement, because when you look at the Gambia's population, up to 60 plus are all young people. So we have a very youthful population. Then our life, our needs and aspirations as young people should be able to reflect on the decisions that we make. And I think the poll is one major factor or pushing factor towards advancing the welfare of young people. For over the years, we hear people say we have been sidelined. It is high time we also put up our responsibility, because when you talk about your rights, it also goes with a corresponding responsibility. So as young people of this country, what is our responsibility? What do we owe to this country? I think that is one major factor why we should come out in our large numbers to be able to take part in voting. And then also through the Not Too Young to Run movement, we've seen how most young people came out in 2017 to vie for National Assembly elections, and we want the trend to continue. We want to make sure come 2021 or come 2022, Gambian young people are able to influence the decision that is taken through the polls, Baba.
Which is very important. Modumbu, let me come to you, to the part that you guys have taken, because civic education, mostly youths will even voluntarily take time to make sure that they go around to sensitize. Take us through who are your sponsors, those who are helping you behind to make sure that you succeed in this sensitization that you're moving on.
Thank you very much, Bao, for the question. First of all, the corner is under the U.S. Embassy, and through the exchange program alumni network, we do receive grants from the U.S. Annually, and through those grants, we are able to fund our activities when it comes to our engagement via Zoom. All these activities are funded by the U.S. Embassy through the U.S. Exchange Program Alumni Network, that is US EPAN.
That is beautiful because youth always will cry to say they wanted to do activities. Sometimes it's very difficult for them to fund them. But let me also tell you, GRTS is also doing great by sometimes providing platform for youths to come and discuss on issues, especially when it comes to issues of national development. That's why it is proudly your national TV. So we have to also thank GRTS for giving you such a wonderful platform. But we'll take this break, and when we come back, we will continue from there. All right, welcome back, of course, viewers, wherever you are. Once again, this is The Balance Show. And of course, on the chat on segment today, I have Mariama Danso and Modu Move from the corner, American corner. And of course, we're talking about voters registration, especially among us, the youth of this nation, both male and female. Now, Mariama, let me come to the side of the women. Important. Women always make the difference in this country. Now, tell us, are women ready to make difference when it comes to voters registration this year?
I am glad you've highlighted the fact that women make the difference, but I think it's high time we also shifted our attention from the type of difference they make, because over the years women mostly take part in mobilizing supporters for men that we have seen in this country. They also do more of the cooking, buying of the ashobis. That is the fiesta and the ambience side of politics. We want to make sure they also come out to also seek for public offices so we can also vote for them, because most of the times when you attend these campaigns or rallies of political parties, the chances of you seeing women being the cooks or being those that would mobilize people or buying the ashobi and wearing it to come sit and listen to others has been very much the trend when it comes to Gambian politics, and that has not impacted our lives in very positive ways. By that I mean we're still discussing maternal death, we're still discussing security issues for women, we're still discussing a lot of other challenges that women go through. So some of us feel this is because we don't take part in where decisions are being made. Like when you look at the National Assembly, for instance, we're discussing, we wanted 30% representation, we cannot even have 15% representation. This is because most women hardly come out to take positions. So the difference we want to make this year is not just to be congratulations for being the majority people that registered, but we want to make sure that also has an influence on the polls come December 4th. But also in 2022, when we have parliamentarians vying for position, we would want to see more women come out to also take positions, and that is a challenge I'm putting to all political parties to also make sure they push up their women to take responsibility when it comes to offices. So Baba, if you would ask me, that is a difference we want to see in our subsequent elections.
That is the difference they want to see, women come forward. Now, Modu, let's go straight to another point, very important. Youth matters when it comes to voters. You know, because we said we have 60%, over 60% of the Gambian population. That means youths can make the difference. Now, what advice do you have for youths that don't have that belief? Because there are youths out there who said, don't worry, they're just talking. So, what advice do you have for youths of who have such mentality?
Yeah, it is not really encouraging to be discouraged by your system. Because I think even if the system is discouraging, we as young people, as the youth of this country, we should always be ready to take charge of our own destiny. It might be rough, we might face hurdles, we might have glitches, but we need to be strong and know that if we come together and advocate for change or advocate for something positive in our country, we can do it. But it has to start we have to start as an individual. Then from there we grow. So I think there is no room to be discouraged. There is no room to have a mentality that will not be good for you as an individual and for the country at large. So my advice to the young people is that no matter how much discouraged you are, first of all, you have a chance. Just grab your voter's card and be on standby. Before election, anything can happen. You might see a candidate that actually speaks for you. And that's the time you have a chance to impact change by voting the right person. And trust me, you have a lot of young people who are just waiting to have a representative as far as our leadership is concerned. So irrespective of who the person is, just grab your voter's card, go and wait until election time. Before election, anything can happen. You can see a candidate that speaks for you, even if at all the person is not currently out. It might be possible even the person that you want to lead you is not currently out. Then if the time comes where you have the chance to vote, your vote speaks for you. Just give it that shot. And probably there are thousands of youths who are having the same mentality as you. So I think just grab your voter's card. That's what I'm going to advise the young people in this country.
Yeah.
Grab it. That should be your starting point.
Grab it because it's important. Let me tell you, your flag, your national anthem, your constitution speak for you, stand for you, and is for you. In the constitution, it tells you to go and get a voter's card. So it is your right to go and get a voter's card and vote for your candidates of your choice. Yes, important. Now, I will not touch the side of the women here. I will come to the side of the youth, Maria Madanso. Youths are the cream of the society. Now, most of the time, youths cry for national development. They are not taken care of. But sometimes in the country we live, there are youths that also, bunch of youths that will sit down doing nothing. So what advice? Because I want us to come to that side, because it's not about all the time pointing fingers, blaming, but it's also time for youth to take responsibility. And responsibility starting from what? Get off from that attire crew and go and get your voter's card.
Thank you.
Let's start with that.
Yes, I think it's important, because one thing about my personal orientation is such that I think we need to change the mindset. And when changing the mindset, it's important we also discuss how we do it, how we do what is currently happening, and how we intend to change for better. When you look at youth's political participation, mostly in the Gambia, it's two-sided. First, you have those that are involved in it and those that are passively involved in it. So let's discuss those that are actively in politics. There are also two categories. You have those that are in parties, registered and recognized as being part of Party X. Then you have those party sympathizers that I'll call, that would only show up during political campaigns, and what they do most of the time is, these are the individuals that wear the party t-shirts, would be on top of cars insulting and singing and doing a lot of issues that don't really help our politics. And when it comes to issues of violence, these are the individuals that are potential pushers of conflict. So we want to make sure we change the system, we change the dynamics, and change our orientation towards politics and how we participate in it. Now we are saying, instead of you sitting at the street saying it cannot change, trust me, development is not overnight. Rome was not built in a day. It took drastic effort, and I believe we would get there. There were times when this conversation cannot happen here, and you both know why. But now we are not in that kind of system. So there is change, hope is happening, and it's about believing in it. There were times when things were more serious than they are right now, and then people were still participating. Now that we have a very free system, it's a democratic environment wherein people have the right to participate so long as it's within the confinements of law. So my advice to every person out there is to still believe in the system, because we still believe in it. And come on the 4th of December, if you feel all the candidates that have come presented their party policies and manifestos, person X is who you feel would be able to push your affairs, take that voter's card, peacefully go and cast it for that individual. Whether that person wins or not, as a citizen, you have spoken and we have heard your voice. So that is what is important, if you would ask me, Baba.
Exactly. We normally still have this, of course, I would call it jumbo jumbo. You understand? Because the reason why is somebody will just sit out there and say these politicians are all, they're not speaking the truth. So I don't even need to waste my energy to go and vote. Whether they are doing it for you, they are not doing it for you, your vote is your right.
Right.
Now I want you to, to help those jumbo.
Yeah, before Modu comes to that, yeah, it's not easy. It's because of the way our political environment has been dressed. So it is our responsibility to undress it and put up a cloth that we think is fitting. Like I always say, we cannot sit at one side to say this and that. And we also realize most of the times in this country, those without voters card are mostly more active when it comes to criticizing. You cannot criticize something you've never made in the first place.
Go on Facebook, you'll find them
exactly. There. So when you say this system is wrong, what can you do at your level? That conscious national orientation should be in our mindset to say, when I feel this is wrong, this is what I can do to change it. So long as you don't have that orientation, that sense of patriotism to say, I want to change this through my voice, it still remains the same. We have the voice, we have the power, we have the vote to influence decisions that are taken on our behalf. So let's come out in our large numbers and make sure that 60+% is just not talk, but it's action.
Yeah, not talk, action, important. Now, let's still come back to the question that I asked earlier. Very important. Mindset of such or statement of such could discourage a lot of people, because I sit with a lot of people, and most of the time they will be telling me, Baba, you think I need to waste my time? Even if I vote for them, they wouldn't do nothing for me. Then I say, let me just forget about them. Now, that is the mentality we need to remove. And that side, I call it jumbo because it doesn't make sense. You understand? So coming into that point, I wanted to ask you, why is it important for somebody to get a voter's card? Because we've been talking about so many issues, but that particular point I want you to highlight.
All right, those jumbo people, I think, they are too much in the country. Like especially I can relate when I sit with young people and they start saying, no matter who you vote for, things will still be the same. I'm not actually implying that the system is not going right, just to be clear. But if you really want to change the system, you have to be seen taking an action to change the system. And the least you could do, just wake up from your comfort zone, go and grab a voter's card. It doesn't even take you 10 minutes to get your voter's card. I was so surprised when I went for mine. It didn't actually took me even 15 minutes. And I was able to get my voter's card and leave the place. And now I have my weapon, my voice.
Your voice.
And I will decide.
You're right.
Exactly.
You are a patriot.
Definitely. And like, look, they are so close to you. You don't even need a car to go and get your voter's card. Just take a distant walk, go under the tree, wherever, because there are trees all over the place. Go and join the queue. The queue doesn't actually take you 10 minutes for you to get to the registration officers. Get your voter's card, go home. Get ready for the election.
Yes.
And when it is time, vote. I wish the youth can understand how privileged they are, those who are in the country. Because there are a lot of people in the diaspora who wants to come and vote in December. But because of their situation, mobility, they couldn't make it. So for those of us who are around, having the means, the privilege, the opportunity to register, and yet we are a bit lackadaisical. I think we should really look into that.
Let's come to the side of violence, which is very important. I want us to close it on that part. Of course, social media is a free platform. People can go in there and say whatever they want to say. I went to Rwanda, and I have seen what it costs in terms of especially radio. People sitting down and saying so many things when it comes to language that could definitely trigger violence. Youth, Mariama Danso has said it earlier. Youth, sometimes there are certain people that will just say anything, just emotionally. And this could definitely trigger violence. I want us to take these mics and make best use of it when it comes to our advice in terms of peace.
My word will first of all go to the political leaders because violence can actually transpire based on what you say to the public, to your supporters. Because we are all aware you have amassed already a lot of young people and a lot of brains, a lot of people around you. And the statements you make have an impact on what they do. So I want to really raise my voice on very, very strong terms. Please preach peace in whatever you do. And know that we are really counting on you, irrespective of whether we support you or not. What you say really matters to us. The Gambia is our Gambia. If we actually make it unstable, we are all going to feel the impact. So my advice to you as political leaders is that always preach peace, always preach tolerance, always appreciate the diversity that the country is actually known for, and we will have a very peaceful and successful election come December.
Perfect.
Inshallah. Thank you.
And the president always wear that white cloth, peace.
Exactly.
I think what I'll say is this. This country is ours, and it takes the shape we all put together to give it. So our responsibility as individuals, and also our collective responsibility, is to make sure we safeguard the peace and tranquility that we're enjoying as a country. We have been named the smiling coast of Africa, and I know there are very many reasons why that has been put. So let us not in any way try to jeopardize that for any political gains. And also to the political leaders, Modu has said it. You have followers that think and also believe so highly in things you say. Your actions, your inactions, things you say and how you put it out to public is very important. But also, let us also encourage the culture of condemning acts. over the time we've seen political parties or militants or sympathizers that would come out to say issues that could be potential sources of conflict, but hardly do you see a political party come out to say we as a party are disassociating ourselves with individual X, or we are trying to condemn what X or Y has said. And I think that is very important. We also preach the culture of tolerance. We are diverse individuals. We are supposed to have divergent views, but the goal is to make sure, irrespective of our views, we're able to respect each other as human beings and also honor the fact that we cannot all subscribe to the same issues. It is an election year, and the Gambia is a very, very peaceful country. Let us also preach peace. We do peace, vote peacefully, and also ensure that come December 4th, whoever we have decided through the polls to be the president, when he wins or she, we all come out in our large numbers to support, to make sure he or she pushes the country forward to where we all want to see it. It is for us and for our children. So that would be my piece of message to all
Thank you
of us.
very much, Mariama Danso Modumbu. Thank you so much for coming to the platform on the Balance Show. But before I go, I just want to give a piece of advice. For those of you who are sitting on Facebook, I've been seeing your messages. You are not a Gambian if you are definitely sending message of tribe and languages. I have seen some of you, just because you have a free platform, you can use words of tribe. Please, for the sake of Allah, don't use the language of tribes. Because I have watched them, I was so disappointed. You don't love this country. Don't claim, don't be out there on that Facebook platform saying you love this country. You don't. Because you are definitely naming one tribe, and that tribe can get angry and retaliate. That could be something else. May God forbid. You know that very well. And yet still you said you love this country. You have a free platform. Send messages of peace, love and unity, and that's what this country needs. And that's what we call the balance. On that note, I would thank you so much. Until we meet again, it's a pleasure. The Balance returned for a new season of meaningful conversation. Taking a close look at the development arena. Fresh angle of introducing 3 new segments. Join the 4th segment, Chat On. And whenever the chat is on, please grab the opportunity. Join our 2nd segment, Breaking the Glass. Finding out great people that have achieved great things, and we will find out how they break the glass. Of course, our final segment, Walk the Talk. Let's put the talk to actions. That's what it means, where we will find out so many special things that have been put on social medias, that have been put into talks, but we will find out exactly where the works face. Walk the Talk. The Balance Show is back again with exciting interface only on GRTS TV.